has his hand and trying to fixate time, he will always be off. But if we use the method the Most High gives us, you will never be off. But let's move forward. Right? Now, this is the last part. Only a few slides. This right here, can somebody read that? What does it say?
Internal biological clock rewiring.
What is your biological clock? Internal biological clock. Somebody, yes.
Is it going off the circadian rhythm?
There you go. Okay.
Of course, you sleep and you're up and awake.
Oh, yeah, she good. She good.
It's not deep.
Now, no, it's good. Because if your day starts at night and ends during the day, as opposed to your day starting in the day and ending at night, it's going to affect your internal biological clock rewiring. If you have Christmas on a certain day every year, it's going to affect your biological clock rewiring. You know, think about, oh, Christmas is coming, December 25th, it's winter, it's going to snow, get gifts. It's going to change your internal biological clock rewiring. If your parents are predisposed to this, while the child's in the womb, epigenetically, when they come out, they're going to be adopting the things from their parents and from what they see on TV and in this world. It's going to affect your internal biological clock rewiring. If they're using a Gregorian calendar each and every day of your life, it's going to affect your internal biological clock rewiring. You're going to go to the circadian rhythm, you're going to melatonin, your day-night cycle. It's going to affect everything. So the calendar is so important that if you don't adjust it, it will internally rearrange your entire reworking of your pineal gland, of the circadian rhythm, of the synapses in your brain that sends communications, that tell you how to wake and send signals to the other cells of your body, let them know when to be active, at what times during the day. The calendar is so potent that if I control the calendar, I control your internal biological clock rewiring and also the whole physiological makeup that creates you. Because now you'll be going according to my customs, my feasts, my festivals, and not what the Most High ordains for you. That's daylight savings, all that. That's serious. See, some people don't think this is a big deal, but this is why people have a hard time readjusting. Readjust. Bad enough, I'm a night person. Bad enough, I'm a night person. Maybe that's in there for some reason, I don't know. All I'm saying is, but I know I have to get up and I got to do stuff the next day. And I know 12 a.m. midnight starts the next day, and 6 a.m. is the supposed day of the rising of the sun. But let's get into this real quick. I want y'all to read something, right? I got this from NCBI, which is the National Institute of Health.gov. This is a very good site if you want to look at scientific articles, right? That's peer-reviewed and everything. It's a great site. But I want to read this for you, right? This talks about melatonin, nature's most versatile biological signal. Listen to this. Melatonin is exclusively involved in signaling the time of day and the time of year, hence considered to help both clock and calendar functions to all tissues, and is thus considered the body's chronological pacemaker or zikr. So what is that saying? That means whatever calendar you're following that's affecting the amount of melatonin in your system, whether it's in excess, whether it's in limited supply, it's also affecting your time of day, your time of year cycle, and it's the one regulating the internal clock and even your external calendrical functions to all the tissues in your body. All the tissues in your body is affected by a calendar system. Okay, I'm not even going to get into more of this. That is really heavy. One day you're going to get this. You'll go back and read this and say, you know what? Wow, this is why I can adjust to a new calendar. There's so much work and training. Sister back here does fitness. I don't want to say your name because I don't know if you want to be on camera or not. But she does fitness. And when you do fitness, you understand that you have to get almost every organ in your body in a perfect alignment so that way externally your body can follow suit. But if your whole internal clock is changed, that's going to affect every organ in your body, which will then affect your perception externally. And again, the calendar we're using today was not designed by the Most High. So when we follow it, we follow after somebody else's agenda. I'm going to read just a little bit of this. I'm not going to go too much of it. But the sleep-wake cycle is regulated by two separate biological mechanisms in the body which interact together and balance each other. The first model, first posited by Swiss sleep researcher Alexander Borbely in the early 1980s, is often referred to as a two-process model of sleep-wake regulation. The two processes are the circadian rhythm, also known as process C, the regulation of the body's internal processes and alertness levels, including the circadian drive for arousal and circadian alerting system, which is governed by the internal biological or circadian clock. Sleep-wake homeostasis, or process S, the accumulation of hypogenic sleep-inducing substances in the brain, which generates a homeostatic sleep drive. Both of these processes are influenced to some extent by the genes of an individual. In addition, various external factors, food, drugs, ambient temperature, meal times, naps, stress, exercise, daily schedules, alarm clocks, etc. can also have a direct or indirect effect on an individual's sleep-wake cycle. The body's built-in circadian clock, which is centered in the hypothalamus, organ in the brain, is the main mechanism that controls the timing of sleep and is independent of the amount of preceding sleep or wakefulness. The internal clock is coordinated with the day-night, light-dark cycle over a 24-hour period and regulates the body's sleep patterns, feeding patterns, core body temperature, brainwave activity, cell regeneration, hormone production, and other biological activities. Even a long sleep might be ineffective or least efficient if it occurs at the wrong time of their circadian cycle. See the following for more details on circadian rhythm. So now, we live in a society where we're in the inner city, we're on a clock, we got schedules, we're not looking at the sun, moon, and stars, we're not gazing at the sun, we're not gazing at the moon, not gazing at the stars, not looking at the birds flying in, birds flying out, listening to the birds sing, looking at the animals in a mating season, we're not examining the crops or the plants, etc. We are disconnected from the things that the writers of the text were in awe in to remind them of the gratefulness of the Most High. So now that all of that has been affected by modern day society, we have been disconnected not only from the pre-exilic calendar, but we have now adopted a brand new system that has internally rewired us from the brain all the way down to our feet, to every cell organ in our body, to be in accordance and in tribute and in subjection to an entity that is foreign and in opposition to the scriptures that we hold dear to. I don't think you understand how deep this is, but one day, when you research this, you're going to be like, wow, nobody's teaching this in regards to the calendar. This is why it's so hard, because all the time people present a new calendar, I'm like, man, that looks crazy. But they never tell me, listen, we have to start with fitness. We have to start with timing your sleep, time management, going back out into the wild, into the wilderness, looking at the tree. These things will get you back in line with your internal clock, because this is what society is trying to keep you away from. Because when the time comes in the wilderness, you're going to be looking for a big brother to give you something, and you're going to be so lost in nature that Most High created to give you, so that way you have a solution in regards to time. I'm not going to read no more of this, but y'all can go back and research the sleep-wake cycle. And this is the end right here.